Suckers.
Yeah, the suckers. I don't know.
So Kyle, you think women are just as sexually adventurous as men?
Yes, depraved would be the word. I think there's a spectrum of like the stuff like people like feeling good sexually, and there's a whole spectrum of things that make them get that same feeling. So some people, just a beautiful woman, touching you, like I'm at 10 out of 10. But for some people, they're like I gotta have a giraffe watching. I gotta have my grandpa in the corner like massaging me with oil. They need something crazy. And I wish we had Filthy to talk about this because he's got that whole sexual studies thing. He'd probably have some input on this. I've read the Kinsey data, that guy that did the whole sexual, all those sexual studies, and there's a breakdown of percentage-wise what percentage of people engage in bestiality, and it's broken down depending on whether they live in the city or in the country, whether it's a man or a woman, different age groups, different educational groups. I
think a lot of people dispute his stuff now. In recent years.
I think they dispute some of his findings, but I don't know if his research, his actual data, I don't know that was...
Like if the actual methodology was fucked up or something, or if it was just you only used 6 creepy, goat fuckers to complete this whole survey or whatever.
I always thought that that some opinion that he had based on his studies was wrong or had been proven false or something, some ideas he had, but I didn't... I guess it's possible that his data's wrong, but that's the only data there is on, women fucking dogs, right?
Everybody likes depraved shit to an extent, but to pretend that on average men and women want the same amount of sex and are as interested in that kind of stuff is just kind of silly.
Yeah, of course.
Biologically, men think about sex constantly, all the time.
Yeah,
women don't, because it's like women live in a candy store of sex and men live in a desert of sex. Comparatively, obviously, there's so much middle ground there. That's just hyperbolic to make the point. But so, when a guy gets sex, it's like, all right, I had to work for this, and let's fucking make the most of it. When a woman gets sex, it's like, I'm not going to buy another Snickers today. I've already had far too many. I'm getting fat. I don't want that. It's just
give me that variety bag. Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with
that. Halloween.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it. It's just men are definitely more sexually depraved.
Yeah, definitely more sexually depraved, just because of the sex drive, I think, and I don't know. Just the way we are driven to sex, it just seems a bit different because it has to be, right? I mean, those are some rape inclinations if we're boiling it right down to being honest. That's what it's about.
Think how much of a disaster it would be.
Yeah. Like when you get horny, of course you'd prefer if a woman allowed you to, but your biology is saying go get some pussy. It's not saying if she wants you. There's no part of being horny where your penis still works whether she wants it or not. I feel like I feel like we've evolved to be a bit rapey, just like all the other animals.
Orangutans.
I have to be very careful about rape.
Ducks,
apparently
very rapey. Otters, rape. Very rapey.
But
squirrels.
Kyle's not crazy on this, I think. Of course you have self-control and you don't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
But the instinct is to find somebody to get
grab
laid.
and take and bind.
If it wasn't...
Yeah. Genghis Khan wasn't super concerned about consent.
No,
at all.
Not. Do you really think he had to ask, though? I feel like if you see Genghis Khan walk into your village, you're just pull your skirt up.
It's
give
of
it to
the
me.
Implication.
Give me that Khan seed.
I want to know what happens
that stallion
afterwards,
that mounts
though.
the world.
Is your kid are you set for life? Does this give you financial security and protection forever? No. It's just...
Because we'd all be safe if that were true. Because he spawned it's got to be thousands. He had thousands of children, right? It seemed like he raped a different woman every day, twice a day, 3 times a day. It's so much rape that that you can measure the amount of
I've heard every man, woman, and child on the planet has a little con in him.
You know how much fucking you have to do? Keep in mind, this is a guy who is known for being a warlord. He's not like he's Genghis Khan the fucker. He's Genghis Khan the great, the warlord, the conqueror. He still found time to be one of the most prolific fuckers of all time.
He would giggle at my 11 times a day.
Oh, please.
One day.
11.
Right?
He's getting 11 women a day at least.
It says that 0.5% of the total world population might be descendants of Genghis Khan, according to the data. And I'm not going to follow the link.
0.5%?
Data. Yeah,
wow, that's 0.5%. Only 0.3%. Oh no, that's not true.
According to the data, around 8% of men around 16 million individuals residing in the former Mongol Empire carry almost identical Y chromosomes.
Wow.
So that's
they all descended from the same
16
man.
million people in the same area now. I wonder if that like caused any problems genetically or anything. Just because like people maybe didn't even know that they were banging someone that was like Genghis Khan's great grandkid.
They've been a little bit related, and he clearly had some good genes, right? Like I don't know what he looked like or what his stature was. I doubt if anyone does, but he was a real winner.
What would that percentage be if he was fucking people in a more populated area, right? Like so he was from Mongolia. Mongolia hasn't really blossomed into the centerpiece of a current Earth, right? Now, he spent some time in China, but if he had conquered China in the same way that he had conquered Mongolia, maybe 20% of people would have some Khan genes.
I just don't think he could have done any more fucking than he did. And I don't think there was ever a point where he was like, I had some more women.
See, he fucked, I'll say 1,000 women, and then their descendants turned into 1 million people. If he had fucked 1,000 Chinese women 1,000 years ago, then maybe they turn into 1 billion people.
I've got an answer for this. So it wasn't people in Mongolia that were related to him. Those 16 million are people that were in what was the Mongol Empire, which at the time was much, much larger and took up parts of China and whatnot. And so these 16 million people, a lot of them are in China, a lot of them because Mongolia.
I want him in the center of a booming population, right? He needs to be in like early America, early Europe, early China. He spent too much time in a wasteland.
Just jizzing everywhere.
Yeah, that's it. He needs to be at the start of where populations explode. I'm sure the bulk of his he didn't go to China until he was well established in Mongolia. Mongolia barely has paved roads.
Yeah. There's only 3 million people in Mongolia, and so most of these people live in China.
I'm not mocking you. I'm like, I guess isn't that where they drink the fermented goat milk or something like that?
No, that was one of the.
That is the place where Borat is from. That is